is United Kingdom Talk with Chris Reardon.
Morning, gang. Good morning. Oh, hello. Is that working? Yes. Good morning, gang. It's Friday. It's Friday night. Who's going out? Answer, no one. We can't go out here. Friday the 28th of August 2020. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom Talk, coming to you from Bracknell here in Royal Berkshire. It looks like quite a nice day at the moment, I must say. Hang on a minute, what's that there? Seems to be a green glow coming from one of the trees. Maybe that's because it's green. It's coming through the window in a straight. Can you see that or not? Yes, you can. It's just like a green glow coming through the window. Isn't it nice? I'm so lucky here to be surrounded by the pine trees. You know, as I say, both places I'm living in, both back down here in Bracknell where the house is, and up in Lincolnshire where the caravan is, they both got their own pros and cons. You know, it's you can't choose to live in one or the other. It's really difficult, or at least I can't choose anyway. So good morning to you, gang. I think someone else is litter picking. Oh, yes. I think there's a few of us doing it now. I didn't realise this before. And I'll tell you why. I've been going around my usual little bit round the four houses here. And you find, as you completely clean up one area, as in, we're down to small pieces of paper now. You kind of start with tin cans and lard wrappers, that sort of thing. And as time goes on, you start noticing the small little bits on the floor, the little bits of paper, perhaps even as small as a cigarette end. Seriously, how sad am I? And bottle tops, which you didn't notice when you were picking up the larger stuff. I mean, I can't find anything now. I can't find anything. And as I go round every couple of days, because you've done like the big clean now, it's just a matter of keeping on top of it, you know. And you do find yourself moving out a little bit further down another path that you weren't looking at before because you've got nothing to pick up, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I went over the forest the other day, and it wasn't until I found a whole bag of glass bottles that looked like they'd been there for some time. Because, you know, I'm a womble now. I go litter picking. Voluntary. I'm not paid or anything. I just like to do it. I feel a great sense of achievement in sort of picking up all this stuff. And went over the forest the other day. 45 minutes was walking around. All I picked up was small bits of paper. And I think there's other people that are starting to do this now, which is just brilliant. It's just brilliant. Maybe we could have the clean country, you know, that we once had. Because we did years ago. When I was a child, you never saw endless plastic wrappers on the floor. Mind you, there wasn't any plastic, you know. The ice cream came in a piece of paper, wrapped up in a piece of paper. Can I have an ice cream, please? Yeah, what would you like? Vanilla or vanilla? That's all you had. These little blocks of vanilla ice cream, which came in a piece of paper. And you'd buy one from the newsagent, which in our case was the candy shop. We lived in Roehampton in southwest London, and the newsagent was called the Candy Shop, literally, before I think it was Martin's took it over. It was a candy shop. You go in there and everything would be behind the counter. None of this self-service rubbish going on, dear. You know, nothing was ever nicked because you couldn't nick anything. It's all behind the counter. I'll have an ice cream, please. Okay, so she'd get the ice cream out of the freezer, and then she'd go to the back shelf and pull out a cone from a stack of cones, take the ice cream out the wrapper, holding it by the paper, push it in there. There you go. I don't know, 5 pence, please. That's how you bought an ice cream. Not this highly processed stuff in bits of plastic and metal foil and all that. I mean, what's all that about? God, it's not the same. I can't stand Magnums. I'll eat a Magnum. Don't like them, though. They're just so processed and everything's the same. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, that's it. But I hardly noticed any rubbish at all over the forest. And then last night, I was invited over to my mate's house for pizza. So I left the house about 8 o'clock. The ginger cat is now all over me. You know the ginger cat that I've made friends with? He comes over. He comes over and literally sits outside my front door waiting for me to open the door now. And meows. meow, meow, meow. And then I open the door and he's in and he's all around my legs. All doing all the rubbing. Oh, I've become great friends with this ginger cat. Anyway, so I've left the house and he's there. So I give him a little bit of attention first and then off I went. Well, he followed me for ages. And he kept running in front of me and trying to trip me up. Didn't want me to go out. He actually got into the house yesterday. I don't really have cats in the house because I've got a bit of an asthma thing with animal fur. And I opened the door. Well, he shot into the living room. I think he wanted to sit on my lap. Oh, such a nice... Anyway, we've given him a name at last because I don't know where he's from. I think he belongs to two of the girls across, not far from my house, just across a little bit of green. I think that's where he lives, but I don't know his name. So we've called him Gary. Gary the cat. I don't know why it was Gary. Gary happens to be the name of my nephew as well, but we've called him Gary the cat, this ginger cat. Gary the ginger cat. Gary the ginge. Love it, love it. Anyway, so I left the house, went out, walking to my mate's house, and rubbish that I had identified for cleansing further down the trip, further than I would walk and pick up the rubbish, it's all gone. It's all gone. Isn't that very strange and mysterious? It really is. Now, do you think there's someone picking up that rubbish? Or has it been picked up by an alien craft? No one would have believed in the 20th century that eyes were watching the earth. War of the Worlds. It's not the exact words, I know that, darlings, but you know what I mean. You know, it could be aliens picking up the rubbish, I don't know. The area had been cleansed. Isn't that strange? So I think there's other people doing that now, which is just fantastic. I know there's a couple of people that do it because I've bumped into them while I've been doing mine. And we always have a conversation. Oh, it's great. It's a great way to meet people going and picking up litter. So those of you who are sad and lonely and sitting on their own, you know, perhaps you should do that. Go out litter picking. Oh, I ain't picking that up. It ain't my rubbish, so why should I do it? Well, if you prefer to live in a dump, then feel free to do so. Feel free to do so. Go on, do something useful with your sad, lonely, pathetic life instead of sitting in there playing PlayStation all day and getting up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Go on, force yourself. You might actually enjoy it. I started off doing that as just to keep it a little bit clean, but I do feel a great sense of achievement after picking up a load of rubbish. I really do. When I don't find it, I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed that I went over the forest for my usual, where I would have gone anyway for my walk. I'm not disappointed that I haven't filled up 2 carriers full of tins because they weren't there. That pleases me. Someone either has picked it up or, even better, no one's dropped it. That would be best, wouldn't it, if no one had dropped it? Anyway, so I went up my mate's house. All the rubbish had been cleared except by the main road, which is an awful lot of rubbish by the main road. And we had a pizza, which arrived a bit warmish. Do you know what I mean? It was tepid. It was a tepid pizza from Pizza Hut. And we had that and a little bit of garlic bread and a piece of cheesecake last night, which was nice. And we watched this programme on the telly called Hoarders. You ever seen that? Hoarders. Oh, bless. It was this elderly man. I don't think he was much older than me, actually. Possibly early. He might have been actually around my age. But he looked older, you know. In fact, most people do look older than me. You go up and down the chat box on this channel, you know, Jesus Christ, half of them look like they got about a week left. And that's the younger people. There's young people on here, like, let's see if we can pick out a couple of names on the chat. But there we go. Jason Hughes, Joey Millen, Gary Ross, all people that are much younger than me and yet look so much older. Why is that? Have you just had hard lives or what? I mean, what's all that about? You know, are you drawing sort of, perhaps you don't feel that you look old enough and you draw wrinkles onto your face, do you? And lines to make you look older? Is that what it is? It's strange, isn't it? You know, strange. I got an email from YouTube only a couple of days ago. Could you give us proof of your age, because we don't think you're old enough to be on here? That's the truth. That's the truth. So we're watching this program called Hoarders, and this elderly man, and it takes you into his house, which actually from the outside you could see that it hadn't been looked after, which was a shame because it was a lovely looking house. It had, I think it was 1950s, had like a glass entrance, and there were all square glasses like this, not one piece of glass, little squares like this, right? Like the whole of the front was these squares, not small squares, about a foot square. You know, lots of square glass, beautiful house, but you could see all the wood was rotting around these bits of glass. And you couldn't see in. Why? Because there was piles of stuff, and you knew straight away what it was going to be like. Anyway, so the door opens. Doesn't open fully because there's all stuff behind it. And you went into this house. Oh, my God, you've never seen so much stuff in all your life. I thought it was bad in this. This room is pretty bad. I don't mind telling you. I mean, it is. I don't know if you can't really see it. But on the floor, there's just stuff. It's not rubbish on the floor, but just stuff. And I'll put it away later. I'm a bit messy, but blimey, the rest of my house isn't really like that. That house, it was just stuffed with stuff. Not only stuff, but household rubbish as well. The fridge. I mean, why wouldn't you throw out food that had gone off months and months ago? And they were saying, you know, when they got the people in to clean it up, they were saying it's a biohazard. And the funny thing is, this bloke, he didn't look particularly dirty. He looked quite clean. He had decent hair and nice clothes on and all that. But that's how he lived. I don't think we got to saw his bed, actually. I don't know where he slept. Didn't get to see his bed. I wasn't paying full attention to it, I must admit. But it was just so much stuff in there. And I thought, you're lonely. And, of course, it turned out that his mother had died some years ago and he'd lived with his mother. And some people never recover from that. You know, some people never recover from losing their mothers. They can't carry on. And I think he gave up and he just started buying stuff. And he'd go down the shop, buy something else, put it on the shelf. And that's how they kind of cope with it, I think, really. You know. And he had some woman in talking to him and helping him. Eventually they said, well, he had to sell it. He had to sell his house to fund his retirement. And he had this friend. It was quite funny, really. He had this special friend, Peter, I think his name was. And he was going to move with him. Well, of course, as soon as this old bloke opened his mouth, I thought, yep, gay. Well, you can't tell with me, can you? You know. I don't come across as camp at all, do I? No, not at all, dear. You're thinking I'm sitting here, you know, I've got a big family over in Ireland or something like that, and don't you? You do think that, don't you? I look a bit like a professional footballer, don't I? You know, with girls hanging off all arms. I'm going to let you into a secret. No, don't fancy girls. That funny, you didn't know that, did you? Eh? Anyway, so this bloke is going to move in with his mate, and he's got a lady around there who's trying to talk to him about kind of hoarding, and he's got to let go of stuff, okay. Then they get another bloke round, like a house clearance type thing. They've gone in there and said it's the worst case they've ever seen. Anyway, so they start loading the van up with all this stuff, and of course, as they take stuff off the top, I mean, there's just a mess underneath. There's dead rats. There was a dead flat rat where it had been dead so long it just decomposed down to like flat. Yeah, awful really how this happens. And they're putting this stuff in, and then the old boy is out there going through the bags, right, that they've taken out and taking bits out that he wants to keep. Well, I don't think you can do it like that. You've got to just get rid of it all, and that's it. And that's it. You can't start pulling out little bits and pieces. And in the end, he ended up with a couple of carloads of stuff, which he then took round to his friend's house because he was moving in with his friend, right? And then we get to see inside his friend's house. And then this bloke's stuff is just all over the place, including in his friend's bathroom. Pictures and just stuff everywhere. God, and you know, if I'd have been that friend and said, look, come and live here, I would have been fuming. I couldn't live like that. No. So that's a great programme to watch, and it's interesting to see people like that and how they're doing. It didn't seem to be anything wrong with this bloke. As I say, he didn't look dirty, didn't look like an old tramp or anything like that. He looked just like me and you sitting here today. Funny, isn't it, really? Hoarders. That's a programme on Channel 5. Now, talking on Channel 5, I'm very pleased to tell you that a TV show is coming back that you haven't seen for years and years and years. They've remade it. They've made new All Creatures Great and Small episodes. I think there's 5 episodes altogether. Okay? And it starts on Tuesday night on Channel 5. I think it's at 9 o'clock, which is the same time as the quiz is on, of course. I think it's at 9 o'clock. And, yeah, new actors, of course. And Channel 5, it's a Channel 5 original drama. All right, so they've made it all new actors, but based on All Creatures. It's still called All Creatures Great and Small. I don't know if they're using the same theme song. I like to think they would, you know. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. You remember sitting there at home with your parents, eh? Watching that on the telly? Because I do. We used to love that. All Creatures Great and Small, and they've made the hop from BBC to Channel 5. So very much looking forward to that. I knew you'd want to know that. All Creatures Great and Small, back on... Funny day to have it. I would have just imagine something like that on a Sunday night for some reason. Don't seem right on a Tuesday, does it? You know? But there you go. It's on Tuesday night, Channel 5 at 9 o'clock. All Creatures Great and Small. I managed to sort out all the quiz last night, except for the current affairs round, which I write throughout the week. So all the quizzes ready for next Tuesday. Look how far ahead I am. Got some pictures to show you today, boys and girls. John Parrish has sent in a couple of pictures. Okay, I think it's just 2 pictures he sent in. I can't remember now. But if you'd like to see those, we will require some likes. 24 likes, I think we'll have today for those, please. So get hitting the like button. 24 likes, and I will show you the pictures that John Parrish has sent in this morning. Next week's Super Chat raffle, okay? Those of you that kindly send in £1 now and again, or sometimes £2, even 5 sometimes. I get very hot under the collar when a fiver appears in front of me, let me tell you that now. I think to myself, I might be able to eat today after all. Okay, those of you that send in £1 super chat now and again, I do a little raffle for the people that send those in, and I give them free raffle tickets. Every time you send £1 super chat in, I'll give you a free raffle ticket. The prize changes each week, and this week's prize is one of our exclusive brand new plastic water bottles in beautiful orange. Look at that. Every time you look at that, it reminds you of certain people on the telly that wear too much makeup. Or Donald Trump. There you go. If Donald Trump supporters are going mad for these, I sold 800 of them last night to the Americans, dear. There we are. All right? So that's the prize on this week's Super Chatter raffle. Incidentally, Rachel, who won the clock... it was Rachel, wasn't it? I haven't got that right. Rachel, who won the clock yesterday. I haven't received an email from you yet, Rachel, darling, with your address. So if you want to send that in, if you're with us today. Okay, today, I've got to go to London today. Today is the day they take blood out of me. You go, the blood comes out and you lean more and more that way. Okay, so they'll have to be looking at that, and I get a telephone appointment. I got another text, actually. Usually I go back to the hospital 2 weeks later, down in Hampstead, over all free. I usually go back to the hospital 2 weeks later for to see the results of that, but I think they're going to do it by phone again. So they want you in hospitals as little time as possible, don't they? Now, so that's what I'm doing today. I've got to be there at 1:50, so I'll probably leave 11:50. 12:50, it gives me 2 hours. It's a 1 hour journey. I give it 2. You know what I'm like. I can't bear being late for anything. So that's what I've got to do today. I tell you what I saw on the telly this morning. Board games. I was watching Sky News. That cow Kay Burley isn't on there, so it becomes more of an attraction when that miserable old cow ain't on there. And besides, Charlie was on BBC News. You know, Charlie scowling as usual, just looking miserable. He don't smile. They put him on with Naga. It's got to be Dan and Naga. That's the best combination they've got there. Dan and Naga. That Charlie is just so miserable. So miserable. And also, not on this morning was the delightful Carol Kirkwood, who I take great delight in receiving my weather from each and every morning. She's not there. Where's Carol gone? I don't know. Anyway, she weren't on there this morning. But so I switched over to Sky News, and the bloke with the glasses is on. Bit camp. Yeah, he's a bit gay. Bit camp on there, but we quite like him. He's got glasses, and he's very relaxed, isn't he? And a very good morning to you, and welcome to Sky News on this Friday morning. That's how he talks. It's really calming. Completely opposite to that cow Kay Burley, who no one likes. No one likes her. I wonder how she got that job. Dare to think. Oh, it made me feel quite ill now. Oh, no, thank you very much. Anyway, he was on there this morning, so I'm watching him. He's all right to watch, he is. And then the adverts come on. They weren't Christmas adverts, right? But they were board games. And they were the sort. There was no tinsel, no sparkly lights, no Christmas tree. But they were the sort of adverts you get just before Christmas. And it was advertising board games. One was called Smart Arse, okay? Which is, I think they ask you questions to see if you're a smart arse or not, like some of the people in this chat box often are. They think they're clever. They come out with little funny comments now and again. You think, oh, God. Don't they? Not sensible comments like most of you do. Just the occasional one here and there, my loves. And there was another board game advertised on there. And I thought, they're Christmas ads. They may not have the sparkle and the tinsel. There were definitely Christmas ads that were on Sky News this morning. And it got me to thinking, board games, do you like them? Don't play them very much now, do we? I used to go round my brother-in-law's sister's house when we all lived in Roehampton in southwest London once a week to play Monopoly. There'd be me, my brother-in-law's brother, Dave, and his sister's husband, Dave, and me, just three of us. And we'd play Monopoly till very, very late. She'd go to bed, we'd be downstairs drinking cans of lager, smoking cigarettes and playing Monopoly. And we loved it. Every week we used to go, Monopoly. Scrabble, I'm not too good on Scrabble. My mother was very good at Scrabble. She's really good at spelling. She won all sorts of competitions at school doing spelling and things like that. Ludo, that's all right, isn't it? Cluedo, of course. Cluedo of what? Mousetrap. We like Mousetrap. I've got a Mousetrap downstairs. What's your favourite board game? And are you good at it? There's your first question today. What's your favourite board game? And are you good at it? That is the question. How are we doing on the likes? We got 19 likes at the moment. We want 24 likes, please, this morning, boys and girls. And I'll show you the lovely pictures that John Parrish has sent in. Let's just read some of your messages. Good morning to Peter Paliwoda, isn't with us this morning. Thank you, Peter. Morning to Jason Hughes. Carl and his Sprinter van are in the house. Morning to you. Jerry Millen, good morning. Diane Jebb, hello to Diane. Gary, 2 tickets. Ross, hello Gary. Liz Hargreaves is there. Morning, Liz Hargreaves. There's John Parrish there, who sent the photos in earlier. We got 20 likes for those. Only 4 more required, my loves. Morning to young Stephen Petty. He pulled over the van yesterday, didn't you? The lorry. Is it a big lorry you drive, Stephen? Is it one of those... Who's the bloke? Eddie Stow. You're not an Eddie Stobart driver, are you? Those great big enormous juggernaut. I've never sat in one of those. I'd like to have a little go at one of those. Are they difficult to reverse? Can't be anything worse than my sister reversing. Oh, God's sake, do. Mind you, I smashed a light last year. Do you remember? Smashed a light on my Toyota. 500 quid they wanted to fix that. It was a light. 500 quid. Shocking. Morning to Sherry DMP. Sherry's got her own channel if you'd like to have a little look at that, my darlings. It's a delightful Sherry. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning to Mr. Ray Reynolds. Hi to you, Ray. There's John Aitken. Morning, John Aitken. Morning to Peter Wright. Good morning to the delightful Christopher Woodhouse. There's our Rachel. Morning, Rachel. Rachel in the house. Rachel Wheatland there. Scrolling. Just scrolling by the light of the moon above. I heard from Claire. I heard from Claire last night, boys and girls. She's doing okay. She's just a little bit busy at the moment. That's why she's not with us. So I know some of you were concerned about Claire, as indeed I was. So I sent her over an email and she replied to it. She's okay. She's a little bit busy at the moment. All right, just to let you know there. Good morning to Park Nest. Good morning to Mick Davenport. Morning to the delightful Mandy Davenport, in head of pain and suffering on this channel. Oh, I love that, don't you? I love that. Morning to Gary Butler. There's nephew, Scrap It Man. Oh, has he sent any updates on his... Oh, no subscribe. Did you not get any more subscribers last night, Gary? I think the last update you sent into the show was something like 2001 subscribers. What is it now, please, Gary? Thank you. Do let us know. Scrolling there. Let's have a look there. Gary. Oh, where are we now? Let's keep scrolling down there. Oh, I'm not keeping up there, am I? Never mind. Mandy. Chris, your background noise when I'm making bread pudding. But I'm background noise, am I? How rude. John Aitken is addicted to playing Scrabble online with his friends. Oh, yeah? Okay, yes. Actually, I think my sister does that. I think my sister plays Scrabble online with several people and her phone's always going... Or she used to anyway, not so much now. Mick Davenport likes a board game there. Snakes and Ladders for Rachel. Really? Snakes and Ladders, yes. That's easy. You don't have to think with that, do you? Snakes and Ladders. I dreamt about a snake last night. Here it is. Gosh, here it is. Okay, so you know I make overnight oats. Yeah? You know I make overnight oats. I had these overnight oats. Oh, hang on a minute. We've got an important news flash coming through from my nephew, Gary Butler. Let's have a look. There, where's his subscribers? Last 28 days. There we go. Well done, Gary. There you go. So this is in a few days. Look. He's now got 2,192 subscribers. Well done, Gary. Round of applause for Gary Butler, my nephew. Those subscribers are shooting through the roof. He is now head of YouTube. My nephew is actually now head of all of YouTube. Isn't that amazing? It really is. Anyway, so here's my dream. I'd completely forgotten about this. My dream from last night. You know the overnight oats I do? So it's a jar, like a large jam jar, okay? In the bottom, some fat-free yoghurt. Followed by some porridge oats, okay? Straight from the packet into there. Followed by some blueberries. Followed by some more yoghurt on top. Mix it up a bit. In the morning, get it out, chop up an apple in that. So this morning I've had that, okay? The dream was, I've got this thing out of the fridge and I've seen what looks like a snow in it. Okay? A snow. Anyway. So I've put it back in the fridge and put more of that yoghurt on it for some reason. Don't know why. Got it back out the fridge. Looking at it, I've taken the top off. Out of the yoghurt has come not a snail, but a snake. A small, but nevertheless small snake. And I think it had orange dots on it. Orange or brown dots on it, this snake. So I quickly put the top on and watched it going round and round trying to get out. And I thought I'd just leave it there. And I think, yes, the dream's coming to me now. I thought to myself, well, I'll leave it in the jar and over a period of time that'll get rid of it. It will just die in there as the sort of yogurt ferments and goes bad. And I started feeling guilty about it. Perhaps I should take it over the forest. This is all in a dream. Maybe I should take it over the forest, okay, and let it go. But if I do that, it might make more snakes. They might reproduce and there'd be more snakes over there, which might bite us and hurt us. So I left it in the jar, going round and round. And that's it, basically. Don't know what happened to the snake. So that who mentioned snake there? Rachel. By you mentioning that jogs my memory then. That would never have come back into my mind. Isn't that funny? That was my dream last night. How very strange and mysterious. It really is strange and mysterious. Let's just scroll there. Gary Ross on the subject of the adverts. The kids getting ready for school. Those adverts are focused on them. I'm sure they are. It's like a Christmas thing there. Christmas. Just trying to not miss too many out there. 1 minute. Is that my sister there? Good morning, sis. I drive better than you. Oh, you must be joking. The way you tear down those little narrow country roads, sis. Frightening. Good morning to Cycle Ranger, joining us on this Friday morning. Hello to you. Morning to Fran Green, joining us there. Gary Ross likes Twister. I don't think I've ever played Twister, funnily enough. No, I'm sure I haven't played Twister. John Aitken. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about those photos, John. That John sent in some pictures and he's just like pushing his arse in the air. And I don't know if we want to see that on this channel, John. It's a little bit too much, lovey. A bit homoerotic, those, darling. I mean, very nice for me to look at. But I'm not sure that the millions of people all over the world would want to see pictures of your bum. Not exposed, but it was just the pose. It's like, come and get me, you know. But thank you for sending them in, dear. Perhaps you have a nice picture of yourself in that cruise white T-shirt that you used to wear. I'm sure I've seen you in a cruise white T-shirt, have I? Let's just carry on there. Morning to George Bond. Morning, George. 22 likes. 2 more likes and I'll show you John Parish's photos this morning. John, dreaming of an orange snake means emotional intelligence, does it? Well, there were only dots. It wasn't orange. It was a white snake with orange dots. Emotional intelligence, healthy flow of emotions towards oneself and others. Emotionally imbalanced, someone else causing you emotional harm. Which is it? That's both. So you're either emotional intelligence, healthy flow of emotions towards oneself and others, or emotionally imbalanced, someone else causing you emotional harm. Which is it? You have to tell which one is it, Jock? That's 2 different things there. It has to be one or the other, doesn't it? Which one is it? Do you know? Tell me what you think, my love. Rachel, it means you're going round in circles, Chris, not knowing which way to go, just guessing. That sounds pretty good. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I don't really know which way to go. I haven't really known what way my life is going ever, to be honest. I knew at a very young age, I think about 16, that I'd be on my own. I knew that. I was convinced of that at that early age, and here we are. You get all these people say, oh, you haven't met the right one yet, and all that business all the time. Oh, you get sick of it. Oh, you'll meet someone. It's all rubbish. Ooh, I nearly swore. It's all rubbish. Very good morning to Adam the plumber today. Good morning, Adam. Don't forget, on Channel 5 tonight at 9 o'clock, Are You Being Served? The characters, the meeting, and the story behind them. Well, they're all gone, aren't they? Am I right in saying that everyone now who was on Are You Being Served are now in another place? I think it's every single one of them have gone now, haven't they? Oh, Mrs. Slocum. Oh, it was a wonderful programme, that Are You Being Served? Okie doke. What else did I tell you what else I saw on the advert this morning? Oh, hang on a minute. Morning to Stephen Petty. He drives the articulated vehicles. Okay. You can call me if you like one night. There's a double bunk. Thank you, Stephen. Never been in one of those. Never been in one of those. Right. Disney Plus. So again, I was watching the telly this morning and an advert came on for Disney Plus, and they were advertising a film that's on there, possibly called Moolah, which I thought was a yogurt. Moolah? Does that ring a bell to someone? They were advertising a film, Moolah or Mua or something like that, right? But if you wanted to watch that, you would need Disney Plus Premier, which is an additional payment. They're very good at getting these different levels of payment up, aren't they? What a blooming cheek. I thought if you had Disney Plus, that was it. You got everything on Disney Plus. Oh no, not if you wanted to watch this film, Moolah or something, Moolah, whatever it was. You had to be a subscriber to Disney Premier for that. Makes me blooming die. All these different levels, isn't it? Never used to be like that, did it? You saw something, right, I'll have that, and that's it. You bought it. No, that's the next level up. That'll cost you an extra £20. Shocking, really. Shocking. And also, I discovered last night that as well as 3, the network 3, in certain, not many areas, okay, London, you can do this now. In London, you can now get the 5G broadband, which I've mentioned a couple of times. DJ Chris has got this, and when it's working, it's excellent. Now and again, they're doing a bit of an update to the network, and that will go on for some time, I would imagine, because there's lots to do, isn't there? But when I went to Chris's house, I understood that it was only them doing the 5G broadband. I discovered last night that other people are doing it as well. Okay? But there's a big sting in the tail. A big sting. Chris is with the 3 network. You'll correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. Morning to Mick's Mowers. Morning, Mick. Thank you, Mick. I do try myself down. I am the best dressed person on YouTube, aren't I? Go on, admit it. I am. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. Chris is with the 3 network. It's all unlimited. There's no caps or anything like that. And for that, he pays, I believe, £27 a month. Am I right with that, Chris? That's for the 5G broadband. And he can get more than 300 meg speed on that. And that's coming down. Very fast speed going up. I can't remember what the up speed was. Perhaps he'll do a speed. Chris likes doing speed tests, the same as me. I love doing speed tests in people's houses and informing them how good, how sad is that? How good or bad their internet is. Can you do a speed test, Chris? I want to know what your up is. Give us an up and down, what you're getting at the moment, if you're still with us at the moment. Okay? Anyway, so I think he pays £27 a month on that. I have the 3 broadband as well, although I'm only 4G up at the caravan, and I get about, since I put up the external aerial, I get about 45 down and about 25 up, which is perfect. Perfect. Don't need any more than that. Right? And for that I pay, I think it's £21 a month for the 4G up there. Can't get 5G yet. So that's it. I then started... Thanks very much. £29 a month Chris Woodhouse gets, DJ Chris. £29 a month he pays for the 5G, for the 5G 3 broadband, and it's brilliant. It's really good, and it's so much cheaper than like Virgin. Virgin are really dear now. Now I've got Virgin here, right? But what I did last time, I let the contract run out, and then they're on the phone straight away when your contract. Don't think you'll get a deal before the contract runs out. You've got to let it expire and then go back to them. Or in fact, you don't even have to do that. They start ringing. And then you look around on the internet, you find the cheapest one, you tell them you're going with them, and they will match that price. And hold it at that price for 18 months. I was paying £55 a month. I now pay £24. I did drop in speed. I didn't need all that speed. I went down to 100 meg. I've got here, in fact, here I've got less upload here than I have at the caravan. Here I've got about 6 going up, which is just about enough. If I was to make like a FaceTime call now or do something on here, right, it's likely we'd get a little bit of buffering going on because I'm kind of at the maximum I can send. I could go up a level, but I don't want to spend the money, That's how it is. That's what Chris has got. £29 a month there. It's brilliant. Thanks, Mix. Mix asked me to pop round and check his ups and downs. Very happy to do that for you, mate. Perhaps we could include that on one of your many videos, darling. You can have all those other little blokes in the little windows. See what they think of that. Anyway, so I started looking around at this, and I found that EE now do broadband. They do home broadband, right? Now remember what Chris is paying. £29 a month, completely unlimited. He could leave that thing on permanently down. Well, it'd probably say something in the end, but permanently downloading stuff all the time, and it's unlimited. It's probably got like a fair use option in there, which normal people like you and me would never get to, right? EE are doing one. It's there. They've only got one sort of level of offer on. At the moment, Chris Woodhouse has got 183 meg down and 15 meg up. That's perfectly all right. Perfectly all right. So EE now have the 5G broadband, home broadband, right? And that has got a limit of 1 terabyte. Again, that's an enormous figure. 1 terabyte. You probably never get to 1 terabyte. I'd very be surprised if you did. Okay, 1 terabyte coming down and up. The speeds, I would imagine, would be comparable to the 3 5G broadband, but it's the price. £70 a month. In comparison to Chris's 29. The EE one is £70 a month. I'm just going to double check that, actually. I'm sure I saw something that was 50. Oh, that might have been Vodafone doing it as well. EE home broadband cost. Oh, sorry. EE 4G, 5G. There's a difference. The 5G one is the one that don't need any wires coming into the house. It's just a box. You just plug it in, put the SIM card in, it works. That's how it works. EE, come on, where is it now? There we are. EE shop. Okay, accept buy now. Right, buy now. Hang on a minute. Let's get this. Here we go. They not only that, they want £100 upfront. This is EE. You get 1 terabyte of data, which is 1,000 gig of data. You probably never get it through that. It's an 18-month contract. That will cost you £100 a month plus £70 a month. In comparison to 3's £29 a month. Shocking. How is that so dear with them? That's why I left them. I was an Orange customer for years, and they became EE. Does the Orange brand even exist now? Which was a shame. I think we quite liked that, didn't we? We liked the Orange brand, didn't we? You know? And then that became EE, some blooming rebranding thing going on there or something like that. And I wanted more data because I'd started to do, and I'd got the caravan. And I wanted more data. EE wouldn't give it to me, and I discovered that 3 gave unlimited data. So I bought a pay-as-you-go SIM card just to try it out, and it worked fantastically. And I went with them. How is 3 £29 a month and EE £70 a month? What an enormous difference. Shocking. There we go. Chris Woodhouse, he's just done another speed test, 224 down and 15 up, which is more than anyone, isn't it? Okay. Orange only because it makes I don't wear foundation, Mick. I'm a real man, darling. There's no makeup on here, my love. You may need to wear it. Are you dressing up in your wife's clothes again, are you? Does she know about it? It's all right, you can tell us. We're all friends here, dear. I don't know. John Aitken, the Disney thing is Mulan. Thank you, Mulan on Disney. I've never seen the animated one. No, neither have I, actually, John. Neither have I. I still haven't. did they do The Little Mermaid as a live action thing, or hasn't it happened yet? I can't remember that now. Morning to Paul Adamson. John says the Are You Being Served movie is on Channel 5 tonight. That's where they're in the holiday, isn't it? They all go on holiday. Oh, it's hilarious. If you've got time, please watch that tonight, gang. If you haven't seen it before, the Are You Being Served movie on Channel 5. Sorry, Mick, you didn't win the raffle yesterday. Rachel won it. Rachel won the clock. All right, my loves. Sorry about that, Mick, to inform you that. You probably knew that already. Someone probably informed you. Mick Davenport can't even get fibre broadband as phone line is too old and BT won't upgrade it. Yeah, Mick, that's why up at the caravan I have no BT line. Whatever, you can get a BT phone line there at the caravan, but the most they can offer you is a maximum speed of 1 meg. Well, I wouldn't be able to do the shows on that. I need a minimum of 5. Here, I've got 6. I've just about got enough to do it here. I mean, I could upgrade it again, but that's another like 20 quid a month. You know what I mean? But my guess is, Mick Davenport, if you wanted to, you could probably get a 4G broadband there. You could probably get that. And it's literally, do you know anything about this? Am I teaching you to suck eggs here or what? It's just a black box with a little phone SIM in it. You plug it in the wall and that's it. Your stuff connects to it wirelessly. If you've got like a smart telly and stuff like that, you just connect it to the box wirelessly, you know, by entering key codes. If you're anything like me, you've got fat fingers. Oh, the amount of times I put wrong numbers in and things like that, especially on these stupid little screens. I like a physical button, don't you? Touching this screen and then you look and it's all wrong. I've got fat fingers, but you could probably have 4G broadband where you're. You don't have to have an aerial, you know. You've got a decent 4G broadband phone signal there. You could probably have 4G broadband. And the 3 ones, that's going to cost you about £21 a month, which is reasonable. Bristol, you might even have 5G in Bristol, I don't know, because you're a big city, aren't you, sort of thing there. All righty. Mick's pretty smart when it comes to electric. Yeah, but there's electrics and there's computers, Mick. Different things altogether. It's a bit different putting 2 wires in something and trying to get a blooming computer working. Believe me, I usually have to take mine into a shop. Oh, nightmare doing computers. Good. Today is Mary's anniversary. Now, you always hear me talking about non-Irish Mary from Ireland, who we lost last year. Okay, there's a picture of her there. That was taken about 18 months ago. Okay, that's my mate there. Look how thin I look there. That's my mate on the right there, and there's Mary in the middle there. And we are in a place there called Gino's, which is in Camden Town. It was just round the corner from Mary's place, and she spent a lot of time in there. Having lunches with various people, including myself and my mate there. And I just wanted to give her a quick mention today because it's a year now since we lost this incredible lady. She was always so upbeat about things all the time. And she did say to us that when she was gone, if any of us started crying, she would come and haunt us. Well, actually, I wouldn't mind a bit of a haunting from you, to be honest, Mary. She had cancer, and gradually, bit by bit, she kind of fell apart. But she always kept her spirits very high, and she'd struggle along to the karaoke. I have to tell you, I met Mary in a place called the Spread Eagle, which was also a pub in Camden Town. And I'd been booked to do a karaoke there. So I set up. And I never forget, she came over to me. She'd been sitting there waiting for the karaoke to start. I think she was a regular in there. She came over and she said, "Hello, I'm Mary. People know me as Mad Mary. You'll find out why," or words to that. And that's it. And we immediately hit it off. You know, sometimes you meet someone, or even sometimes you just talk to someone on the internet and you immediately hit it off with people, don't you? Eh? Claire's one of those people as well. Claire, who's not here at the moment. Claire always got on with you. You just realise immediately you're kind of on the same. Oh yeah, I like that person, don't you? Similarly, there are other people in your life that appear and you think, I don't really like you. You know, they're just annoying. Someone annoying, or perhaps even like you can walk past someone in the street, and as they go past, ooh, I don't like you. Have you ever had that? But Mary, we just connected immediately, and we got on like a house on fire. And the second or third week in this particular venue, there was a crowd of rowdy boys in there, which I can usually deal with. I can deal with rowdy boys, not rowdy girls. They're just an absolute pain in the arse. Groups of drunk, rowdy girls. Drunk, rowdy lads usually take it if you say, come on, boys, just calm down a little bit, all right? Oh, sorry, mate. They're a bit like that. They're okay to deal with, generally. Unless they're on drugs and they're a bit of a nightmare, you know. But there was these rowdy boys in there. And remember, I'm trying to put songs together. And Mary saw this and she came up. Because I didn't have much room to spread out. Well, it was literally a case of speakers on chairs. There was no room for if you put them on stands, you see, there's always the chance they're going to be knocked over. Doesn't matter how good the stand is. Yeah, you can probably push them like that a little bit and they fall back into position. But if you lean over on them, these things are going to go over. So there was no room for stands. We literally had the speakers on the soft furnishings. That's just how it was. And then I was backed up against a window and a table in front of me. Anyway, there was these loud, rowdy boys. And a song would come on and they come down the front. Oh, yeah. And Mary thought, I could see it in her eyes. She said in a moment that he's going to get all his stuff pushed over. And she literally pushed herself through. Excuse me. Pushed herself through these lads. Stood right in front of me with her arms like that. so that they couldn't get to me. And then a few weeks later she had her birthday party and she wanted me to do a karaoke at her birthday party. So we went to her house, which was a lovely house. A lovely house just down the road from the pub. It was like a 3-story house with like a basement and all that. And I set up and did karaoke for her in her front room, basically, you know. And I thought, I don't know how this is going to work. But her son was there with 2 of his friends. And I thought, well, they're not going to want to know, you know, young people in there, mums, karaoke. Nope, incorrect, Chris. They came and joined in. And she kept coming up and singing. And it was a great night, a great evening. She did sandwiches and all stuff like that. And then from there, she just came to the other karaokes that I did. I don't think she came down to Belushi's in Hammersmith or Belushi's in London Bridge, if I remember rightly. But she did used to come down to Belushi's in Camden, although that one went a little bit wrong. It just started attracting really weird people. I mean, really weird people. So that one, I think that particular karaoke went on for about 6 to 9 months. And then another bloke came in and knocked it on the head, which was just how it was. But yeah, it went a bit wrong. But she used to come to that one as well. She used to come with one in the Black Cap, the Golden Lion. She used to come in. Yeah, she came around to it. She supported the karaoke nights all over the place. Mary did. And she had cancer a couple of times, and then this is the one that got her. But they only gave her a short period of time to live, and she times that by about 5, 6 or 7 to the time that they gave her, and she just carried on. Eventually to the point she'd be coming in Central Station, and she liked to come in quietly and not be noticed, so she started coming in the back door. She wasn't ungrateful for the people that wanted to hug her. It hurt, you know, for her to sort of move around even. She kind of struggled to this stall and just sit in the corner, and occasionally she would make it to the stage and sing a song or two. And that picture that I showed you a moment ago, this one here, she would invite people to come and see her. and to go and sit round her house and have a little bit of a chat. And that's Gino's restaurant where we went and I had a pizza. And that's the occasion I went with my mate, and I went up once on my own as well with her. And that time we sat near the window. But the staff in there were just absolutely brilliant towards her. Nothing was too much trouble for them. And she died on this day a year ago. And I cannot believe it's an entire year since we lost Mary. On the way up to the caravan, I'd often talk to her on the phone. You know, I'd ring her up about 11:30 at night. We'd be on that phone half an hour, 45 minutes, chatting away and that. You know, it was a great on the old hands-free system. But there we are, Mary. Rest in peace. It was an absolute pleasure to know you, and I do hope perhaps you'd bump into my mum and dad while you're up there and have conversations about me. Anyway, and indeed anything else. All right, there we go. Let's just scroll up a little bit. Did we see someone new there, my Don? Good morning to Amelia Dodd joining us today. How are we doing on the likes? 22. 2 more likes, and then I'll show you John Parrish's pictures this morning. We're a bit slow on the likes this morning, aren't we? 2 more likes there. Okay. Where are we now? Stan Laurel, Parkness. Stan Laurel says, if anyone cries at my funeral, I'll never speak to you again. That's what she said. If you cry, she will come and haunt us. But I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. Chris, can you hand over the clock I won to Mix Mowers, please? Yes, if you want. Yes, no problem at all with that. Do you want that, Mick? Be very happy to do that for you. Can you just send me your postal address, Mick, and I'll pop that in the post for you there. Okay, be pleased to pop that in the post for you there, Mick. Morning to Heidi Young. May Mary rest in peace. I wish so many more of you had met her. I know you saw her on the karaoke streams, and you will probably see her character just through her singing those songs and how she was on the stage. Believe me, that's how she was. She was a very, very caring lady, and she would sit there and listen to you, and perhaps if you wanted it, she'd give advice. Otherwise, she wouldn't say anything. Wonderful lady. Let's just carry on there. Are you talking to each other there, my love? Okay, let's just... I think you're talking to each other there. Heidi, she sounds like she was one of life's characters, Chris. Very special and rare breed. Yeah, we like characters, don't we, Heidi? I love characters. I don't like bland. Bland is boring. Bland is boring. You know, I've got to say, a lot of the people on the BBC are now bland. Yeah. Have I got your address? No, I haven't got your address, Mick. Come on now. Don't be silly. Mick's got a thing there. Excellent. This week's Super Chat prize is one of our brand new plastic bottles, okay? That's the Super Chat prize this week. All right? Okie doke, we got some news stories to do for you today. I don't want to leave it too long because I want to go to London. I've got an hour yet. What time did I say I was going to go? 10 to 11, 10 to 12, 10 to 1. Oh, actually, no, that's going to be too early, isn't it? Hang on, what's my time's my appointment? 1:50, 12:50, 11:50. I haven't got to leave here till 10 to 12. That's 2 hours. That's plenty of time. The only thing is, I hope I'm in and out of there quick because Friday traffic on that M25 ain't fun. Tell you that now. Tiny marching robots. Hang on, let's see if we've got enough likes, have we? Come on, 2 more likes and I'll show you John Parrish's pictures there. Millions song. Actually, no. Millions little tiny robots. What do I mean by little tiny robots? Well, scientists have created an army of microscopic robots, each smaller than the width of a human hair. We could be surrounded by little robots now. Where are they? Where are the robots? Exterminate. Maybe they're Daleks. Oh, wouldn't you like your own Dalek stood outside protecting your property against evilness? Yes. Well, I'd have several of them. I'd have loads of them. We wouldn't have any of this set to stun, set to kill. You come near my house and burgle me or beat up an old lady or nick someone's money who's disabled in a wheelchair, then that gun is set to kill. You no longer deserve to live. I do think that when I watch some of these news stories, these people that have beaten up an old person or killed a child or paedophiles and things like that, I do think that they should be set to kill these guns. I'm talking, of course, in fantasy land. Daleks. They should be set to stun for these people. How many Daleks will I need here? Let me think. 1, 2. Could have one that. So we'd only need 4, wouldn't you? One there, one there, one there, and one there. Maybe they could pick up rubbish as well. Daleks that pick up... Daleks that kill people and pick up rubbish at the same time. Kill 2 birds with 1 battery car. I like the sound of that. Anyway, scientists have created an army of microscopic robots, each smaller than the width of a human hair, that can be injected into the body to wage war on disease. Now, would you have something like this? I know some of you are a bit funny with flu injections and are convinced that flu injections are full of bad things that will eventually kill you anyway. And I understand that way of thinking. You know, I accept that you think like that. And I hope that you will accept that I do have that flu injection every year, along with lots of other people. Although they say the take-up hasn't been as good over the last few years. It's kind of going down a bit. Not so many people are having this flu injection. The government are doing a big thing about this year, aren't they? I have it every year. I've had flu once about 3 years ago myself, which oddly enough was within a few days of me having the injection. It was quite bad. I mean, I had to take time off work. I was delirious on the settee, according to my mate, talking all sorts of crap. No difference there then, is there? I was very ill. Very, very ill. Very ill. I'll never forget that. And it came on so quick. It came on within 10 minutes. 1 minute I was at work. 1 minute I felt completely all right. I'm just carrying on. And suddenly I got really cold. Oh, blimey, it's got cold in here. And I started putting on a jumper and all that. And then I sat down on a chair huddling myself like that. And I picked up, is it cold in here? And they're like, no. You sure no one's left the door? I'm freezing. And then my legs really started aching. I thought, what the hell is going on here? And then it just came down like that. It was awful. God knows how I managed to get home. But I got in the car. The heating was on full blast. And for the whole hour and a half, hour and a quarter I was in the car, that heating was on full blast with the windows closed. And I still didn't feel hot. Isn't it odd? Oh, it's awful, that flu. But I've had the flu injection for 10 years, 15 years now. It usually protects me while other people are dropping down dead around you. Yeah, all sorts of people, you know, they look on the internet and they see, it must be right, it's on the internet. No, I don't agree. But I respect people's decision not to have it. You know, if you don't want to have it, it's up to you. You know. The story in the Daily Mail says it resembles the plot of the 60s film Fantastic Voyage. Do you remember that? When little people were going in, don't they? In which a vehicle was miniaturised and then injected into a patient. Scientists inside the tiny vehicle then destroyed the patient's blood clot using a laser gun. The new real-world microbots, is in the Daily Mail, could monitor nerve impulses in the heart or brain or even deliver drugs directly into organs. Because, of course, at the moment, you take a pill, I take pills. You know, I take pills. Some of you take pills. You take that pill, it has to go through your stomach and it goes everywhere, perhaps to do something to your kidney. Got to go everywhere else, goes throughout the whole body, and a little bit of it here ends up at the kidney where it's got to do the work. Of course. Because of that, they have to make sure that whatever they give you in a pill doesn't affect anything else. Most stuff, virtually all the drugs that you take, have some sort of side effect. They do. Now, if you could just have that drug, perhaps, as I say, for a kidney or maybe a liver. Let's say your liver. Say this drug is specifically for your liver. Presumably, this little robot could find its way through all your body, not affecting anything else, and it gets to your liver, and then it puts the drug in there, and then the drug will do only what it's supposed to do. Maybe we won't have so many side effects then. Isn't this brilliant? It says the new real-world microbots could monitor nerve impulses in the heart or brain, or even deliver drugs directly into organs, according to scientists from Cornell University who created the machines. Wonderful. The minute four-legged machines will enter the body via a hypodermic needle and travel through human tissue and blood using four electrochemical actuators that function as legs. Climbs along inside you. A lead author said controlling a tiny robot is maybe as close as you can come to shrinking yourself down. He said machines like this are going to allow humans to venture into amazing worlds that are too small to see, and it could change medicine forever. Isn't this exciting? Don't you find this? It's amazing. They are the first robots smaller than 0.004 inches in size, in which onboard electronics are used to direct them. These robots provide a template for building even more complex versions that utilise silicon-based intelligence and can be mass-produced. The walking robots are the latest iteration and in many ways an evolution of previous nanoscale creations, from microscopic sensors to graphene-based machines. I mean, it just is so exciting. It really is, hearing a little story like that. Of course, there will be the negative side of things. Of course, you know that. Armies will start injecting people with these things in order that they can kill people more effectively. I mean, all that money that's... Isn't it funny, isn't it? All that money that's spent designing new things to kill people more effectively. What's all that about, eh? And yet, I wonder how far we... If no one did fighting and all money was put into medical things that assist the human population move forward, I wonder how much further we would have been by now. Yeah. There we are. I like the idea of that. Morning to Michael Parman. Good morning, Michael. Fun things to do with tech. Good morning to you. My wife got ill within hours from leaving the doctor's 6 weeks. She was not good. So doctor said to her, don't have it next time. Was that a flu injection she had? Was that recently fun things to do with tech? Rachel says, I like to make people happy. I won't have the flu injection because I heard a lot of people have become ill with it. Fran hasn't had flu since I qualified for the jab. She hasn't had the flu. So you have it all the time, do you, Fran, as well? Let's have a look there. Email again. There you go. Mixed Mowers, there's your email. Just shove your postal address over to there and I can sort that out for you. Okay. Excellent. Good morning to Maureen. Morning, Maureen. I remember the evening at the Golden Lion when you became unwell. Yes. Yeah, you were there, weren't you? Oh, it was awful. Luckily, the lads in there assisted me to the car. I couldn't carry anything. I literally went from being 100% perfectly all right to having about 3% of my power. I couldn't lift or do it. I shouldn't have driven home, really. It was about 3 years ago now. I really shouldn't have driven home, but there wasn't any other option, really, other than to kind of lay down on the floor in the pub. Well, not a pleasant experience. I hope you don't have to go through it, boys and girls. There was another bit of technology news here, I think, somewhere. Where is it now? Did I have another little bit of... I thought I had a... oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Told you about all creatures great and small, didn't I? I've done that. Yep. Okay. A plane. Where do you think is one of the highest risk places for catching the coronavirus? Great nephew Harry. I do like to flick his ear or something like that occasionally. If you put your hand near his head at the moment, I don't flick his ear. I push his head down. He likes to do that. So here, little Harry, he's 7. I'll put my head on there and I start pushing down and he sees how much he can take before his knees collapse. But you can't do it now. If you get to go near him now to do something nasty, then he says, coronavirus, don't touch. That's what he says. But where do you think is the worst place to catch coronavirus? One of the worst places, apparently, plane toilets. Aircraft toilets, which are never the most pleasant places at the best of times, are they? Oh, they're awful. They're so small. I hate them. And you know what I also hate? The fact that there's no water in the bottom of that thing. So any smells as it comes out of you go straight up, doesn't it? Fortunately, in aircraft, the extraction air thing above the toilet is really good. I've never ever had a smell come out of a toilet when someone's opened that door. You know, that metal door, and it clicks and you open, a little light comes on, doesn't it? Unoccupied. Down at the back end of the plane, you want to see the queues for the toilets sometimes. Boy, they shouldn't blooming drink so much then, should they? Half of them, they all get drunk down the back end. It's awful, dreadful people, dear. Economy class people. I'm glad we haven't got any of those here this morning. Dreadful. There we are at the front, having a little glass of champagne or perhaps a small orange juice. There they are down the back, swigging the lager and the dodgy bottle of vodka that they've got shoved in their bag so no one can see it. Terrible, dear. And they wonder why they have to keep going to the toilet. Hello? Plane toilets are the highest area at risk of the plane when spreading coronavirus, according to a new study. Communal areas and high-touch areas are likely to be the worst for the spread of the virus, with the loo being the most frequented by passengers during a flight. The study was done by a university in South Korea, analysed an evacuation flight from Milan to Seoul on March the 31st when Italy was facing soaring cases. On the flight were meant to be 310 passengers, with 11 of them having symptoms of coronavirus. They were stopped before boarding. The remaining 299 passengers not only socially distanced before the flight, but also were given high-grade N95 masks to wear on the flight, only taking them off for food service and when using the onboard toilets. After landing in South Korea, all passengers self-isolated for 2 weeks. 6 passengers then tested positive on the first day of the quarantine despite having no symptoms. However, one woman tested positive on the final day of the isolation, that's 14 days later, which suggests she caught it on the flight and she'd used the toilet on board. Now, I must admit, I've never found a dirty toilet on a plane, ever. All those years I've been on planes, not when I was... first time I went on a plane would have been 1979, Laker Airways, to the United States on a Boy Scout jamboree. That's where Laker Airways, they brought the prices down and things. I don't ever remember ever seeing a dirty toilet on a plane, ever. But of course, you can't see germs, and you certainly can't see this damn virus that won't go away, can you? It says that the toilet was shared by passengers sitting nearby, including a patient who had symptoms. She was seated 3 rows away. This lady who got it 14 days later was seated 3 rows away from the lady with asymptomatic patient. The lady with her. Given that she didn't go outside and had self-quarantined for 3 weeks alone at home in Italy before the flight and did not use public transport to get to the airport, it's highly likely that her infection was transmitted in the flight via indirect contact with an asymptomatic patient. So there we are. The study also explained that thanks to plane filters, it is unlikely on a plane. This is what it says in The Sun. If you're thinking of going on a plane, I won't get on a plane at the moment, but it says in here, the study explained that thanks to the airplane's filters, it's unlikely that the virus was spread through the air on the plane, but through indirect contact such as shared toilets on board. Now, to put that a little bit bluntly, right, I just told you I've never seen a dirty toilet in a plane, but I've never smelt a smell come out when the door opens. Similarly, I don't think I've ever smelt a fart on a plane. I think the air is probably changed and goes through those filters a lot more efficiently than we think. I don't think I've ever had smelt a bad smell on a plane. Have you? I honestly don't think I have. I have on a train. It was my nephew, actually. He did the worst fart you could ever imagine once on a Eurostar train when he was either 15 or 16, coming back from Euro Disney. Ask him about it, and he's proud of that. He's very proud of that. It was awful. I'm giving away all the family secrets today, aren't I? On a plane, I honestly don't remember ever having a nasty smell come towards me. The filters must be really good. That the air changing system, you know, I presume, where would it come from? I presume it goes straight up, doesn't it? That's the ideal place to have an extractor up, so it's just sucking the air through all the time. I tell you what, if the aircraft is delayed and they haven't got the engines running and it's not plugged into the main electric, planes, that's when the air isn't working. And my God, does it heat up on a plane when you're sitting on the tarmac. That happened to me once. We ended up, I can't remember why, but we ended up sitting on this plane for over an hour waiting for it to take off. Might have been even longer than that. Something was it was at Singapore Airport. I never forget. Something had gone wrong with, wasn't anything to do with flying. I think it might have been the air conditioning system, from what I remember. And we were sitting there waiting for a part, but this part had to be flown in from somewhere else. But for some reason, we couldn't get off the plane. I don't know why, but he wouldn't let us off the plane, and it was so hot on that plane. And we knew we had another 8 to 10 hours to fly back to London. It was awful. I never forget that. And that put me off flying. I thought to myself, I don't want to go on a plane again if that's going to happen. Why they didn't let us off there, I don't know. We were stuck on that plane. It's just got hotter and hotter and hotter. Really uncomfortable. The story goes on. The study also explained that thanks to the plane filters, it's unlikely the virus was spread through the air but through indirect contact, such as shared toilets on board. It continues, considering the difficulty of airborne infection transmission in flight, because of high efficiency particulate arresting filters, this is all the ventilation, used in aircraft ventilation systems, contact with contaminated surfaces or infected persons when boarding, moving or disembarking from the aircraft may play a critical role in flight transmission of infectious diseases. Now, you know, if I go on a plane, I'll save up for the business class seat. All right, you do have much more room. That being literally, you do. Not only that, the business class seat, not first class. First class is really expensive. But the fact is, in a business class seat, you are not sharing an armrest with someone. Okay? Generally, if you're on the 747s have gone. A 747 would have been perfect for this, right? Because they got an upstairs. And I've flown in the upstairs. It's lovely. There's not many seats up there. And there's like 2 seats there. Aisle, 2 seats there. Now, the seats are partitioned. Okay? You cannot touch the person sitting next to you. Not only that, there's like a glass, plastic screen, and that comes up, yeah? And you can't even see the person next to you. You're kind of in your own little thing. The first class, you've almost got your own little cabin. It's like a room, I think, if I remember rightly. Oh no, that's on the Arabian ones, like Etihad and places like that. They've got like room. Not on the British Airways ones. You've got an even better seat in the first class, but I haven't been in one of those. I never get upgraded. I've never ever been upgraded. Perhaps I wouldn't have the cheek to ask. Some people ask, don't they? Oh, I'm available for upgrades, and I couldn't do it. Can't do it. I have to pay, and that's it. Right? But you do have on the economy. You know, you're up like that. You're sharing a blooming thing. Of course, you're touching the person next to you, aren't you? So that's how you're going to get it, through touching and all that business. It says many airlines have made it compulsory to wear masks for the duration of flight, as well as encouraging the habit of frequently washing hands. And I told you about that bloke that was dragged off the plane yesterday, didn't I? Oh dear, because he was infected, poor sod. Never mind. Go with EasyJet. They have seats on the wings, says Mix Mowers. Oh dear. Let's just go up a little. I won't go up too far there because we get so far. Daniel Woodhouse, morning. If you're going to fart on a train, the Eurostar's the one to do it. By the way, did your nephew fart in French or English? He's gone very quiet, hasn't he? No, he's probably not there. He dips in and out of the show. He's probably busy doing something there. Oh, can you fly a plane, Mick? Can you fly a plane? Have you been on one of those little planes? My nephew flew a plane. I got him a flying lesson for his 16th birthday, and he took us up in a 4-seater plane, me and my sister. That was good. Katie Price, she's having rows. Surprise, surprise. You won't be surprised to know it was her. She's the one having rows with her neighbours. Katie Price in the Daily Mirror this morning is at war with her new neighbours after causing chaos in the sleepy Surrey village where she's renting a home. Well, I hope she's not near Claire. Claire won't like that. Katie Price. Imagine her living next door. All the comings and goings going on there, dear. If you like twitching curtains, you won't want to live next to Katie Price. I believe me, dear. The former glamour model, I don't see there's anything glamorous about her, but there we are. The former glamour model, 42, and the rest, mate, started renting a 5-bedroomed Ashton home, I don't know where Claire is actually, worth almost £1.2 million just before the lockdown began, while her mucky mansion in West Sussex was being renovated. Have you seen her house? What? I can't believe people live like that. You'd be very surprised. You'd be very surprised. There's a girl on YouTube, I think they're called influencers. You know the sort. 10 inches of makeup on. The lips are out like that. Eh? Hello? What's up? I'm a YouTube influencer. The makeup's all like that. And it's all very... They look pretty underneath the makeup, I suppose. Right? She's doing this video program, all nice and all around her. But she was renting a place and she trashed it. The landlord, it was on one of those landlord programs, Bad Landlord, Bad Tenant or something, whatever it's called on the telly. Something like that. And it showed you the house that she'd been doing these shows in. What a dump. That's how some of these people live. Don't believe all the niceness. You know, I've told you, it's dreadfully untidy in this room. Okay? The bedroom's all right. There's no rubbish in the bedroom. Living room's okay. You know, now and again I hoover it. I don't have a house like that. She had trashed this house. One of my flats, I've just got a tenant out there. She hadn't paid the rent for 3 months. Right? I went in there a few weeks ago. I've got smashed doors in there. Smashed doors. The first quote I've had to fix that up is $5,000, which is way over the top. I think it's way over the top. This bloke wants $2,500 to paint it. I don't think so, mate. $2,500? Are you for real? Get another quote, please. But I have to get it done soon because we've got a new tenant going in on the 10th of September. I mean, holes in the doors. Why are there holes in the doors? Writing, or she had a child. I understand that. I get that. But if you've got writing all over the walls, you've got to clean that off before you hand it back, mate. So, of course, the deposit is being held back at the moment. There's all these dilapidations. And she's got the absolute audacity to challenge the dilapidations. the broken freezer door in the fridge. Gosh, they should put these handle things on these drawers. I understand a child so that the child can't open the drawers. Why haven't you taken them off then? There are kitchen cabinets missing from the wall. The others, all the doors have come off. And she's challenging all that. We have to get some of the money back from it. I won't get the £5,000 that it's going to cost to redo it before it goes up. Well, I'm hoping it's not going to be 5,000, man. I'll be lucky to get 1.5. I'll be lucky to get 1.5 to do that up. But that's what happens now and again. It's just one of those things, you know? One of those things. But you imagine Katie Price's house. Well, we've seen it on the telly, haven't we? The Daily Mirror goes on with this story. It seems residents of the quiet neighbourhood aren't too happy about her living in a luxury mansion, which is just 10 minutes down the road from her ex-husband, Peter Andre's house. I mean, he seems fairly decent, doesn't he, Peter Andre? He's all right, isn't he? I don't feel anything bad or about it. I don't really... I mean, I like the song Mysterious Girl. That's about as far as it goes, you know. It says, people live... I wonder if it's anything to do with Claire, this. People living nearby Katie's £4,255 a month she pays for this place. And she's got no money. She's got no money. £4,250 a month she rents this house for. I got no money, got no money. Anyway, it's got its own gym and cinema room. I'm complaining about the non-stop barking of her dog Blade. Well, it's not the dog's fault, it's her fault. Shut the blooming thing up. Who they say is left outside alone at all hours. That's why. Piles of rubbish are left rotting in the garden of Dirty Cow. Filthy, dirty cow. And there's a picture. What is that young boy doing with her? He could have me. What is he doing with her? When one neighbour, he'd be dumped soon. She'd get married to him, do the whole the magazine thing in, I don't know, Bella magazine or something. There's shove her £200,000 for the pictures, and then she'd dump him and move on to the next one again. That's what she's like. When one neighbour tried to politely ask Katie, who is currently laid up with 2 broken feet to bring her dog inside, the mum of 5 hit back with a rather rude response. A source exclusively told the Mirror, and now exclusively on this channel as well, boys and girls, Katie had a letter posted through the door about her dog Blade being left outside. I bet some busybody. You can imagine the letter, can't you, actually? It says, there have been so many complaints about the noise. The dog just barks all day long and is just left there outside. It's run out onto the road a few times as well and just runs around barking. It's awful, isn't it? Just a moment, dear. Hello, friend. How are you today? I'm just talking to millions of people all over the world on my worldwide famous television programme, darling. No, that's not me, darling. I shall be off in approximately half an hour's time. How long are you in the car? Are you going to the hospital now? Oh, right, okay. Wait. 11? Well, it only gives me another 45 minutes to talk, and I've not got a dry throat yet, to be honest. 9:15. I've hardly said a word. Thank you, dear. No. See you later. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Bitch. Sorry about that. That's my mate. He's just he's got a hospital appointment as well today. Similar one to me, actually. It says a neighbour wrote her a letter, this is Katie Price, and asked her to please bring the dog inside, and pointing out that she'd been asked to do on numerous occasions. Katie drew a middle finger on the letter and posted it back to the neighbour. Oh, what a lovely girl. She clearly thinks it's funny and isn't taking it seriously. Isn't that awful? It's not the dog's fault. Not the dog's fault. It's a lovely looking dog, I gotta say. I don't know what's wrong with her. She's got something mentally wrong with her, that lady, isn't she? Does she go on that dreadful programme, Loose Women? Does she go on that? Loose women? That's horrendous, isn't it, that thing? Oh, well. And it goes on. Katie Price is set to make £1 million by following Kerry Katona onto X-rated OnlyFans. Oh, my God, she's going to do porn. Oh, she's done porn anyway. Did you know that? Oh, everyone's seen that video. It was not a pleasant experience, boys, watching that one. If you've seen it, what did you think of it? Just, you don't have to be, don't be, what's the word, graphic about it. Just give it a mark out of 10. If you've seen Katie Price's special film, what did you give it out of 10? Let's have a look at you. Jason, yeah, it's the kids I feel sorry for getting dragged through all this crap. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Mixed mowers, all I'm saying is Katie loves a bit of wedding cake. She does, doesn't she? Rachel, some people have no respect for other people's property. It's terrible, isn't it? People like that. Oh, Gary Butler's back. Scrap it, man. 2,000 odd subscribers now to his channel. We were talking about you earlier, Gary. Jason says Katie Price hasn't got a penny to scratch her bum, apparently. I think you're right there. Yeah. Right. Good. Here's something for you to do. One night, a company are offering fans to go and spend a night at a haunted house. Yes. Is this something that you'd like to do? Spend a night at a haunted house, perhaps? It says, do you love all things spooky? Do you like spooky things? I bet you do. It says, have you always wanted to experience what it's like to spend a night in a potentially haunted building? Well, if you answered yes to any of those, we might have found the perfect opportunity for you. A company named Haunted Happenings are offering people the chance to spend the night ghost hunting at Newsom Park Hospital in Liverpool. Oh, I do like a Liverpool accent. According to the company, the Grade 2 listed building dates back to Victorian times, and over the years it has been used as many different things, including an orphanage, psychiatric hospital and a nursing home. Haunted Happenings website says Newsham Asylum is the ultimate ghost hunt location for those wishing to spend the night in a frightening and very active building. Ghosts. The orphanage turned hospital dates back to the Victorian era when punishments were harsh and cruel, and this sprawling building now lies empty and abandoned with a sinister and frightening feel to it. Boarded up and surrounded by perimeter fencing, Haunted Happenings have 99,000 square feet of terrifying corridors and rooms to explore as we enter this building in search of the ghostly inhabitants that still reside here. You may have seen the film on the Butler's Empire channel. And we visited a rather spooky house last week on Friday. It was on this day last week, actually. You can find that show on the on the Butler's Empire channel. Butler's Empire channel, you'll find that. I think it's the Butler's Empire channel. Someone will correct me if that's wrong there. They state areas of interest to include the Psych Cinema, the infamous Naughty Boys Corridor, and the morgue. That's where you want to be. If this weren't enough, there's also the schoolhouse, hospital wards, nurses' accommodation, a bell tower and a chapel to look around. Haunted Happenings adds there is an instant feeling of uneasiness as you enter and begin your journey into this frightening location. On a Haunted Happenings overnight ghost hunt at Newsom Hospital, you will not fail to sense the torment of those who belong to its long and torrid history. Wheelchairs sit empty in corridors, and the mortuary fridges exist as a cold reminder of the lives that passed over in this place, giving this location a unique and frightening atmosphere. Am I selling this to you? I think I'd be good at telling horror stories, wouldn't I? Don't you think? During our overnight ghost hunts, there have been numerous reports of paranormal activity. Distant voices have been heard within the empty building. Shadowy figures have been seen darting down the stairwells. Well, it sounds like the Eyes of Parliament, doesn't it? Really? Wow. So the Newsom Park Abandoned Asylums and Orphanage Ghost Hunt runs between 9 p.m. and 3 a.m. and costs between £65 and £69 per person. Is that doing it for you? Is that something you might want to do, perhaps? Go and visit a haunted house? Mixed mowers love things that go bump in the night. I expect you do, my dear. Rachel would love to spend a night in the haunted house. Where else are we there? Let's have a look there. I don't know what that is. Okay, let's do another one. Napping for longer. Who naps in the afternoon? Anyone nap in the afternoon? I do. I have about 2 hours. Apparently, I'm not doing myself any favours. Now, we all know people in Spain and various other Mediterranean countries, it's quite normal for them to sort of shut up shop and go to sleep for a couple of hours. I've been doing it for years, since I was about 18. No, since I was about 20... Since I was about 25, I've napped for 2 hours. And it started because I was working at BT and DJing at the same time at night. And I was finding myself hardly any... Because I was a BT engineer, I was lucky. I was able to scrap together quite a long lunch break and I'd go to sleep. And I've never been able to get out of it. You know, come 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, I'll be like, oh, I need to go to sleep now, you know. In the Daily Mirror, researchers found that long naps in the afternoon are associated... Who does this? With a 30% greater risk of dying young and a 34% higher likelihood of cardiovascular disease compared to not napping. Whoever would have thought that had made us die earlier? Taking naps of longer than 1 hour can cause heart disease and may even trigger an early death, warns a new study. The findings fly in the face of the perceived opinion that lying down for a snooze is a harmless activity, with an afternoon siesta considered in some countries to improve productivity. When you go to these other countries like Spain and Italy, do you not think that people seem to be happier, don't they? They seem to be happier to you. The latest findings by Chinese scientists, due to be presented at the European Society of Cardiology Congress, suggests that drifting off for more than 60 minutes a day could be risky. So they're saying an hour. You should only have an hour's sleep. But I don't know about you. I don't want to get up after an hour. I want me 2 hours. A study says daytime napping is common all over the world and is generally considered a healthy habit. A common view is that napping improves performance and counteracts the negative consequences of sleep debt. See, because I only sleep for about 4.5, 5 hours at night. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm making up that with 2 hours of sleep, you see. A study challenges these widely held opinions. Isn't that interesting? Do you sleep at all in the afternoon, I wonder? Is that something you do? Anyone go to sleep in the afternoon? Michael Pullman's decided he doesn't want to go into the haunted house, don't you, Michael? Why is that then? Come on, you live amongst blooming spiders and crocs and snakes in Australia and you won't go in a haunted house? God, man. Jason Hughes sleeps in the afternoon. I'll crash the van. Oh dear. If I napped in the afternoon, I wouldn't be able to sleep at bedtime. You see, it's normal to me to do that. Jason, my missus says she's going to haunt me if she dies before me. I told don't rush, she's doing a good job of it now. Being alive. Okay, we've got three more stories there, actually. We've got three. We're running a bit late now, aren't we? I think we're going to have to drop a couple of stories. Let's have a look. Oh, 28 likes, boys and girls. Okay, John Parish's pictures coming up right now. Let me just pull out the story. There we are. John Parish has sent in these two lovely pictures here, gang. There we go. This is a floating restaurant not far from our home in the Philippines, because that's where John Parish's house is, the Philippines. Look at that, a floating. You can't really see it that well there, I must say. What's happened is the light has the camera set itself onto that plant, so I can't really see that very well at all. Where is the restaurant then? It's a great picture. Is that the restaurant there with all those little huts with the roofs? Are they like... is there a table in each one? Oh, it's moved again, isn't it? Hang on a minute, let's get rid of one of the pictures. Which one? Oh, I don't know which one it is. Take that one out. See if that works. Click OK. Fingers crossed that'll work. Would I be right? I'm just guessing here, John. Is each of those little hut things a table? I'm guessing. I reckon that's how that whole thing is the restaurant, is it? And the little roofs are separate sort of cabins, and each one has its own table. Would I be right in thinking that, John? Looks absolutely fantastic, I must say. You do send in some very good pictures there. I thought that was Sherry you were leaning on for a moment, and then realised it's a model. It's not. It can't be Sherry because it's not smiling. Sherry is always smiling, isn't she? All right. Fran says you need to nap for 20 minutes, then get up and do something. When you get into the process, you'll feel better. I don't know. Mick says not only old people sleep in the afternoon. Well, you're old, Mick. You look much older than me, don't you? Isn't that funny, isn't it, Mick? Hey, you look so much older than me. John Aitken has a snooze after lunch most days. Yes. All right, gang, let's do the raffle tickets because we're running a bit short of time now. Who wants a raffle ticket for next... Hang on, I'll get the right coloured ones here. Right, colour raffle tickets coming up. There we are. Yep, that's the ones. Who wants a raffle ticket for next Monday's raffle? Please speak now, oh gorgeous ones. There you are. Fran likes... Rachel likes the pictures there, John. Do-do-do-do. Maureen, ticket number 788. 788 for Maureen. Fran Green, 789. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I was right, was I, Sherry? Yeah, I thought so. So each of those little cabins was a table. It looks absolutely delightful. A floating restaurant. And like out somewhere near that. Yeah, nice. Thanks for those. Mick Davenport, 790. Rachel Wheatland, 791. Gary Davidson, 792. Michael Palman, 793. Joe Woodrow, 794. Jason Hughes, 795. Scrolling. There's our Jason Hughes. Who's after Jason? Peter Wright, 796. Tony King, 797. Daniel Holmes, 798. Diane Jebb, 799. Who's going to get number 800? It is Colin K, 800. Colin K. Anyone else for a raffle ticket? Please speak now. Lots of silent viewers with us this morning. So a very good morning to you. I hope you're enjoying the show so far today. If you want a raffle ticket and you don't want to go in the chat box, that's all right. You can just text me on that number there. Do it now. Once the show's finished, too late, okay? 07551 259 675. If you want Maureen texts in when I ask, okay? So if you want a raffle ticket by text message, that's okay as well. Just ask me. 07551 259 675 is the text in number. Gary, 2 tickets. Ross, 801. John Aitken, 802. Anyone else, please speak now. And let's do today's birthdays. Happy birthday on this Friday, the 28th of August 2022. Mr. Roy Hill. Good morning, Roy. Happy birthday, Roy Hill, today. Steve Hadley. Morning, Steve. Happy birthday to Steve. Lee West today is 45 years old. Alex Green. He's heavily involved in Save the Black Cap campaign. Good morning, Alex. Morning to you, Alex. Happy birthday, sir. Alan Markovich. Happy birthday, Alan. Daren Taylor. Morning, Daren. 46 today. And Angela Gallagher. They're all the birthdays. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Twice, coronavirus. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Yeah, baby. Happy birthday, boys and girls. All right. That's it for the main part of the show today, boys and girls. It's time now for our daily bingo show. Our daily bingo game. Someone is about to win an extra chance to win one of our highly sought after, high quality fridge magnets. Okay? The raffle for that will be, as always, on Monday morning. That's what the raffle ticket for is. That's what you're playing for now, okay? So go and get your tickets. Here comes the bingo board. We're playing, as always, only for a full house, gang. A full house. You need to mark off all the tickets on your bingo card. It says Friday the 28th of August 2020. I'm aware that some of you might have received another one that says Friday on it. That was yesterday's one. Just make sure it says Friday the 28th of August, okay? And you're playing the right one. All right, my loves. As soon as you win, as soon as you've marked off all the numbers in your chat box, shout bingo in the chat box. Do it quickly. You only have 1.5 minutes to claim. If we've moved on to the next number, you've missed it. If for whatever reason that message doesn't get through to me on time, doesn't matter what the reason is, some sort of technical mishap, anything like that, if it doesn't get to me on time, that's just how it is, okay? Once we've moved on to the next number, I'm afraid you've missed it. All right? It's the only way to do it, I'm afraid. You know, otherwise you start doing... if you give in to someone... Oh, but last time... You know what people are like. Oh, but last time you said that. That's not fair because you didn't give it to me. And it gets all a bit like that. So there's one rule for everyone. If you don't get in time, that's it. All righty? Okie doke. Eyes down, boys and girls. Here comes your first number. 2 and 9, 29. Okay. 5 and 6, 56. Mick, did you send me your address yet? No, not yet. We're still waiting for Mick's address. That's okay. Take your time, Mick, whenever. 2 and 6, 26. Isn't that kind of Rachel to do that? We often find people either super chatting other people prizes and giving their prizes to someone else. But the clock, I mean, that really is something. Thank you, Rachel. 2 and 6, 26. 5 and 1, 51. Eyes down, bums up. I say nothing. 1 and 7, 17. 7 and 9, 79. 2 and 7, 27. Thanks for your text there, John. 6-0, blind 60. 5 and 2, 52. 20, blind 20. All the ones, legs 11. 6 and 7, 67. 6 and 4, 64. 2 and 4, 24. 7 and 6, 76. 4 and 6, 46. 40, blind 40. 8 and 2, 82. 1 and 4, 14. 4 and 1, 41. 3 and 5, 35. All on its own, number 3. 7 and 5, 75. 7 and 1, 71. 1 and 9, 19. And a 19. And a 19. 19. 7 and 2, 72. 2 and 5, 25. 5 and 7, 57. 7 and 8, 78. 8 and 9, 89. 5 and 8, 58. 80, blind 80. 2 little ducks, 22. Quack, quack. 6 and 2, 62. 3 and 8, 38. 8 and 7, 87. 1 and 6, it's 16. Thank you, Mick. I've got your email there. Six and 1, 61. 6 and 8, 68. All on its own, number 5. All on its own, number 9. Unlucky for some, 1 and 3, 13. All the 6s, 66. Click your fingers, gang, come on. All on its own, number 1. 2 fat, morbidly obese Chris's, 88. 8 and 3, 83. 2 and 8, 28. 3 and 2, 32. 4 and 5, 45. 5 and 9, the Brighton line. Woo, woo. 5 and 3, 53. 1 little duck, number 2. Quack. I see I've got lots of likes there, so thank you very much for those. I really appreciate that. Nice lot of likes this morning. Thank you. Thank you. 2 and 1, 21. 50, blind 50. 4 and 3, 43. 30, blind 30. Morning, Shania. Oh, her signal's gone. Is it really, Shania? Yes. Let me give it to you at the end, Shania, because I'll tell you why. If I read out the number now, people will start writing off wrong numbers. 7 and 3, 73. Good morning, Shania. 4 and 7, 47. Expect a new hymn to be uploaded to my religious music channel soon. I'm doing the Blessed Mary one. Do you know that? I can't remember the title. It goes... Da, 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 da. Do you remember that one? All the 3s, 33. 3 and 7, 37. 5 and 4, 54. 6 and 9, 69. 8 and 1, 81. Park Nest, I remember yesterday. Yeah, I remember that yesterday now. Do you want to play the bingo as a matter of interest? Do you just not want to play it, which is fine? If you want to play the bingo, just let us know and I'll add you to the system. All right? 4 and 9, 49. I remember you saying I don't think you played the bingo, do you? 4 and 9, 49. Maybe you're just here for the chat, which is fine. Yeah, whatever you want. 4 and 8, 48. Paul and Lou have turned up. Jesus Christ. Are you for real? What sort of time is this? Late again. Work has been busy. Another pathetic excuse. Leave the job then. 1 and 5, 15. 3 and 6, 36. Top of the shop, line 90. All the 7s, 77. 8 and 4, 84. Okay, Parkness, thank you. 1 and 2, 12. 6 and 5, 65. All on its own, number 7. And we have a winner on its own. Look, one click. One click, number 6. You've got a minute and a half to claim your prize there now. Okay, 1.5 minutes. I'm sure this person is here. And you'll get an extra raffle ticket to possibly win the fridge magnet on Monday. Do you have a fridge magnet yet? This person who's won yet, as a matter of interest, do you have a fridge magnet yet? You're too late to catch up now, Paul and Lou. I'm afraid once again you are losers. Losers. Oh, dear. Thank you, Daniel. Daniel claiming bingo there. In just 30 seconds you claimed, didn't you? 28 seconds, you see? See, if you're paying attention, I mean, these people that don't get the bingo in on time, I don't think they're paying full attention to the show, which is very, very disappointing. Here come the numbers that Daniel's won with this morning. 6. Last number 6. 13, 17. 25, 27. 32, 38. 43, 48. 54, 62. 64, 78. 81. And 90. Congratulations to you, Daniel. Well done, sir. Let's just delete that game now. Lovely. Excellent. Well done, Daniel. And you'll get ticket number 804. And Shania, you got ticket number 803. There you go, darlings. 803. There you go. 803 and 804 there. All right, sweethearts. Put those in there. In my ticket thing. Good. There we are. Anyone else anything to say? Losers again. I'm sorry, Paul and Lou. What can you do, darling? Michael says, thank goodness it's hard to cook tea and play bingo at the same time. Michael's going to bed soon, isn't you? It's night. We are a nighttime show in Australia. A nighttime show in Australia. All right, gang, that's it for our little chat this morning. Thanks ever so much for joining us. It's lovely, isn't it? Being able to do this every morning like this. It really is. I remember if I was a child, I had a pirate radio station when I was 18, but I wish I'd had all this. I think I could have done something rather wonderful. You know, it's come a bit late, you know, sort of into my 50s before I started being able to do the video. Oh, was it 40s? I can't remember how long. How long have I been doing these videos now? Far too long. I just say the same things all the time. You know that, don't you? Just in a different way. The words are in a different order. But basically, the conversation's exactly the same. Paul and Lou can only dream of a fridge magnet. Daniel, you do appear to be on a bit of a winning run. Have you got a fridge magnet yet, as a matter of interest, Daniel? Have you actually got one yet? I just wondered if you did or not. Anyway, we'll be back with you tomorrow morning. As always, 8:45 is the same showtime as usual on Saturday morning. Thank you, Gary. You're very kind. Have you got your hat yet, Gary? Has that arrived yet? Your hat seems to be taking some time to get to you there. I would give it a little bit more time. I've had people waiting 2 or 3 weeks for stuff before, and then it just suddenly turns up. So fingers crossed. If you haven't got it yet, I'm just assuming you haven't got it yet. If you haven't got it yet, just hang on in there, and if it doesn't come within a couple of weeks, I'll put another one in there for you. All right. Have a nice day, boys and girls. I'll be jumping in my car in an hour's time and go down to the hospital just to have some blood taken. That's all. And I'll see you again tomorrow morning, 8:45. Enjoy your Friday. Cheerio.